it is true with anything in life that you are going to want to be monotonous in daily activities in order to get results. As long as you're doing the proper activity, as long as you're doing the proper method of doing something to its best potential, and you do that the same every day, you are going to see results far beyond anyone else that is it is possible. You are going to see the best results. No one is going to be able to beat you. And the reason why is because the day in, day out activity is what is going to, over the long term, produce the largest growth. Like, you will see people when they have done something for years and you're like, wow, I don't know if I could ever do that. Well, only because you're starting out way at the beginning, but they have done the same thing over and over and over, and they have yielded great results. What is this true in? This is true in getting a lean physique and getting a sexy physique, okay? As long as you are doing a proper workout, dieting correctly, and eating a good nutrition, basically getting steps in and sleeping properly. I would say sleep, we'll touch on that in the end. But basically, as long as you're doing things like this and you're doing the correct things day in, day out, you will see results. So what do we need to do for the workout? The workout, in order to see results, it needs to be a high intensity workout. It needs to be brief, very intense, and it needs to be infrequent. You need to be doing in this workout, you need to be giving 100% of effort in a controlled form, where, let's say we're doing a palms up, close grip pull down for the biceps and the lats. You are going to pull the weight down, and you are going to then hold in the fully contracted position and then slowly get the weight back up. When you hold the weight in its fully contracted position and give the slow return of the weight back up, those are the two most productive parts of the movement. Same with any movement. As long as the pushing or the pull, the initial pull or initial push is the weakest part of the movement. The strongest part is the hold or the lowering of the weight back to where it was, okay? Those are going to be the strongest points, and they need to be the most controlled. So you need to do them with the most intention. When you do that and you keep your workouts the same, okay, that is when you see results. Oh, and when you rest for the workout and do it infrequently, because you cannot do a high intensity workout frequently. It just will not work for you. You will not see progress. You will either overtrain. Some people can manage a quicker recovery time. Everyone's built different, but typically, in order for your muscles to grow so that you are continually gaining strength, you will need time to let your body fully heal and your whole body comes together to repair itself, okay, and grow muscle. Now, as far as keeping it the same every day, you want to pick a workout for every part of the body where you're trying to develop, and you are going to keep that the exact same, do not change it, with one exception, and I'll get to that. But you are going to pick a workout, for example, for let's say your shoulders, right, or your delts. So we are building a physique real quick. We're building a physique that is a sexy physique. It is a lean physique that you have a six-pack, veins on it. That's 9 to 12% body fat. You have large shoulders, upper chest, and well-developed lats to give you a V taper. And you're also going to have a small waist when you get really lean, and you're going to want well-developed legs, or it throws off the whole look, okay? So basically, when you do this, and let's say you're picking a workout for, going back to what I was saying, doing like a side delt, okay? So if I, for example, have chosen to do this machine where I am pulling the weight up and doing basically a side raise, okay? You want to stick to the same thing that you have done the whole time. So for another example, I do skull crushers on a flat bench, okay? But when you are able to track your progress over a long period of time with the same weight, with the same movement, with the same intensity, you are going to see progress. You are going to, if you're in a deficit, you are going to maintain your muscle mass. So that way when you don't look like a disgusting sack of milk or something, like some rotten chunky milk by the time you get lean, if you're fat and overweight. By the time you get lean, if you don't maintain your muscle, you're going to look disgusting, just really skinny, okay? So you need to maintain your lean mass as you lower your fat, okay? Do not just look like a skinnier version of your fat self when you're skinny, okay? Now, when basically you do the same thing over and over and you track this, you will be able to see exactly where you are in your workouts, what's going on, and how you can improve on the next time. You will have a very good gauge on what that you need, either more rest, you need more intensity, you maybe need some more stimulation. Like let's say you're doing your last rep, you might need to hold on the last rep and just see how long you can hold it for, and then as soon as you think your weight's going to crash, then you slowly go back up with it. You need to just take it all the way to failure and go super hard, and then get out of the gym and go rest and then eat. And that brings us, well, actually one more thing. The only time when you should change a workout that you have chosen to be your workout for that muscle group is if, for example, the machine is taken. So if I was doing skull crushers and everyone's on the benches and whatever, then I will go do like an extension on, like for the long head of the tricep, I'll go do an extension on the cable or something like that, okay? So only something that is a one-to-one or a mirror for the specific muscle group will work, okay? Now, moving on, as I just said, we now have done the workout and now it's time to go rest and grow. Well, what do you need? You need food, okay? What is needing to be monotonous every day? You need to eat the same amount of calories, carbohydrates, protein, and fats every single day in order for you to optimize and, well, just to even have necessity of what your body needs to grow. And then in order to do that, you're going to first find your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, at a sedentary rate. Basically, you sitting on your butt all day. You need to know how much that your body is going to burn. Then you will eat in a deficit lower than that. I suggest you can start out by eating your maintenance for a week and then bring it down by 500, okay? From there, that is a pound of fat loss per week. Then you can, once you do that, you could then incorporate walking, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But once you do that, you're gonna get your macros straight, okay? So what are your macros? Once you've figured out your caloric intake, your macros should be, in a high intensity workout program, 50% carbs, 25% protein, and 25% fats. That type of range is a good balance. You can do something higher carb. You can do 60% carbohydrate, 25% protein, and 15% fat. That is also something you can do. You could increase protein a little bit, but I'm telling you, you do not need as much as you think. Your body only needs your lean mass of protein per day in order for it to recover effectively and to build muscle. Your muscle is made up of carbohydrates, not protein, okay? It's only 22% protein, 72% carbohydrate, or rather water. Did I say made up of carbohydrates? Excuse me. It is made up of water, and carbohydrates fill your muscle and bind to water molecules, which create the huge like swole look. In order to look big, you eat carbohydrates and your muscles will look huge, and you'll have energy for the workout. Now, finding your lean mass. In order to find your lean mass, you need to know, basically, you need to know some stats about yourself. and go to a Navy calculator. Okay, this is a Navy body fat calculator. Go online. It will have you measure your neck under your Adam's apple. You will then go to measure your waist at your navel, so your belly button. And basically from this, it's going to tell you how much body fat you have. From there, you're going to add at least 1 or 2%. Okay. If you suspect you're over 30% body fat, you add 2%. If you're around 30% body fat, you're gonna add 1%, and that's really what you're at. And I've tested this through a DEXA scan. So why is that important? Because you're going to be able to find your lean body mass, and then that is the amount of protein you need to be eating per day. If it is roughly about 25% of your total caloric intake. Now, let's put it this way. If you are very overweight, you are going to need to find out your lean body mass before you calculate how much protein you are going to take, okay? You can't just do some calculation based on your total body weight. It is not going to work. It's going to come up inaccurate. If you're, let's say, 300 pounds and people tell you 1 gram of protein per body weight, you're eating 300 grams of protein, and that's insane. That's just not conducive. You are going to pass most of that. It is going to turn into fat through basically a process where your body takes protein and turns it into fat. Essentially, it just doesn't use it. So basically, moving on from that, you're going to want to eat that caloric deficit every single day over a long period of time, and you will see fat come off very slowly, but it will happen. And when you keep that muscle and get that fat, you're going to start to not recognize yourself in the mirror. I swear. You'll wake up in the morning and it'll still be dark, and you'll look in the mirror and you will be like, wow, I look completely different. So going to be very exciting. Now, add in some walking. So I don't know if it's like this for you guys, but I have a very different schedule than a lot of people. Like, I have 2 10-minute breaks at work. So I am walking for 10 minutes on both of those breaks. And then I'm allowed to eat while I work. So I eat while I work at my desk, and then I get a lunch break. And I don't eat lunch at my lunch break. I just walk. So that's a 40-minute break. So I get an hour every day during the work week. And that is a great basis. That is a great start. You'll probably end up at the end of the day, if you just have a solid hour of walking, you'll probably end up doing 10,000 steps, just by the chance that you do other just other things during your day. I recently got the step counter, and that really helps out a lot to know exactly how many steps. And I surmised it, but I'm getting 20,000 steps a day, and I walk at a 3.5 mile per hour pace for around 2 hours a day. So that's what that takes. But I wasn't doing that before. I wasn't watching the step counter. It certainly can help you, especially if you're like in a job position where like it's a lot of stop and go. Whereas for me, I literally can calculate my time and how fast I walk. So I was roughly knowing anyway. As long as you can do a calculation, as long as there is a calculation where you can know, like you can project your fat loss, that is what you want to do. Just day in, day out. Even if you don't do the amount that you want, at least have the amount, okay? Be able to write it so that you can see it, something that you're doing, something that something you can project, something that you can stick to, okay? The third thing is sleep, or rather the fourth thing is sleep. And you're going to want to sleep a lot. To be quite honest with you, the more sleep, the better. Your body recovers during sleep. And if you can, go to sleep at like roughly the same time during the evening. I have to wake up very, very early for work. I wake up at like 5:30. I struggle going to bed early, but it's something that I've been working toward, and it's been going really nicely to be able to go to bed early and get a lot of recovery in, because every 1.5 hours your body spikes human growth hormone, and it is going to aid you in recovery so much. And then a lot of the hormone balances and like things that things in repair happen during sleep. So it's very good for you to be able to have a good sleep every night. Try to get to bed at the same time every day. It's really going to help you in just how you feel on the day to day, and just getting a good like schedule in. But I'm not gonna lie, I do like to go like on the weekends. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna sleep for 9. I ain't setting this alarm or whatever, or I will set it. I'll usually even wake up before then, typically with my when I go to bed and like when I wake up normally. But I'll try to get in some more sleep when I can. So think about that stuff. Just know that every day it is going to be the same stuff. Now, just know that there's ways of sprucing it up, but really it's those actions every day that is going to make your body completely transform. So, let's just recap. Just high intensity workout. All you need is to do once a week for 45 minutes. It's actually amazing how little working out you need to do in order to grow muscle. And then to feel fully recovered and be able to give it your all every time you go to the gym. The next one is food, keeping your caloric intake at the same levels. Keep it in a deficit. If you do 50 or 500 caloric deficit a day, you'll be losing a pound of fat a week just from that. Excuse me. As long as you up your walking, you're going to see more fat loss gains. As long as you can measure it, you can predict that fat loss. And then the third thing is getting a good night's rest and just going to bed every day at the same time. Okay. So as long as you can nail those 4 things, you are going to completely alter your future and what you can see as far as your muscle growth and your leanness. You're going to look amazing. You're going to look super sexy. Your wife or girlfriend or whatever will not be able to keep their hands off of you. It's actually really quite nice. But yeah, so keep those things in mind and keep it up day to day, guys.